Hi everyone, so today I have a video sponsored by Tonic Studios for their new stamp club. This is called Golden Sunrise. So they did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. And any links in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So straight off, you guys know I have samples, so it's not packaged like this. Obviously mine doesn't really have packaging, but yours will be in nice pockets. It usually has a little logo that says stamp club, and then you can put it into one of your binders. But either way, it is going to be, in pockets, so you have that. And with the stamp club, if you're familiar with Tonic, it is a die set and a photopolymer stamp set. So again, this was called Golden Sunrise. It's very different. I mean, just looking at it, obviously we have this large die here. Let me give a quick measurement on that guy. Let's see. Edge to edge, it's almost 4 inches by just over 5 inches, so if that gives you an idea. But that is this outer frame, and you compare it with this other piece. This is an inlay, but it does cut, oh yeah, it leaves that open like a matte layer, right? But it does have these openings here. And then if you want to pair that with this circle, then you would have like a frame that's, with that sun ray kind of looking, or you leave that out and it's more of a matte layer, and then again you have that background piece, so it just all layers up really nicely. And then we have this little piece here in the center. Now they have it here in the center of this. Of course you can always cut that and pop it right in there, or maybe that's just another element you can use somewhere else on your card, right? Because you can use this anywhere, it doesn't have to go right in the center. But this cuts its own thing, and then you have that little circle that you can pair together, or just have like a little matte layer, and then there's like a little stitching, embossing kind of die that you would keep there with that, if you want to use it. It looks like we have like a little line. Oh, that is so cute. It looks like lavender, right? A lot of times you have like a grass or something like that, but this looks like lavender, like the little rough edges. And then we have like this that looks, like a stream. Maybe it's like a road, however you want to use it. Again, more of like a line to put like your lawn or desert, whatever it is that you want to do with that to just make your landscape, right? I'm going to skip over these other guys because obviously they go to something that's over here on the stamp set. So let's grab that, and let me see if I have something I can pop behind here. So this is very shiny, but on the other side, it's just white. So let's put this on here. We have, again, photopolymer stamp set, nice size here. You have You Are a Ray Of, and then Sunshine, Hello, Another Trip Around the Sun, beautiful little clouds, very artsy, kind of, oh, what's the word? Like, the imagery for me seems very like pastoral, kind of farmish, you know what I'm saying? Like the way the clouds are drawn and everything. And then look at this little background piece here. Really cool. And then we have the little ducks, and then like a little, what's it called, a silo? I don't know, something like that. It's cute. The little birds that are in formation there, and then we have like a little fencing. May all your days be sunny. Sending you smiles and wishing you a perfect day. Of course, you mix and match with these different things. The little windmill there that we have dies for. So the dies are for most of those larger things, even like these little trees. You have dies for them. Dies for the clouds, for the little ducks. So even though we stamped them here, you can have them like in a little arrangement. You can also cut them out. That's really sweet. The windmill, the little rainbow, little grass here. So what I'm going to do is grab some papers and we will get started. Okay guys, so to start off my card, I have a standard A2 size card, which again is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. If you want to make your own. And I think I'm going to layer that with some gold in the background, but for this I'm going to use these guys, of course. So I think I have this orange paper. That should fit there, yeah. So I'm going to pop that on there, just run it through, so I'll have that background piece. But then I'm also going to run through this, I believe it's marigold yellow, Craft Perfect cardstock, and run that through here. I was just wondering if I want the circle open inside also. Yeah, let's do that. Make it a little more delicate and something different. So I'll put that also. So tape all these down so they don't move and run it through your machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have a few things here. I just took this and popped it on here, and I can see that, I would like a nice border on that. So I just cut that gold paper down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I'm going to pop that back here. Now, of course, you can completely gut this centerpiece because we're going to cover it up anyway, but I do want a little texture or something just because I feel like it's a little bit plain in the background there. So what I'm going to do is just run this through an embossing folder just from something I have in my stash. Look at this. Awesome. And then we'll have this guy on here. And I left it this way because I'm going to pop it up from the base just to give it a little something different, but you can always just glue it right down. So I'm going to run this through just to get some texture on it, and I'll be right back. So again, just ran this through a random embossing folder, whatever you got. Be nice. And this paper is a little bit delicate, so I'm not going to use glue. I was going to do that, but I'll use double-sided tape. So I'm just going to line this out, and you guys know whenever I line these out, I kind of go like this, really kind of push it down the back of my thumbnail, and then I pull out just a little bit like that and leave it so that when we go to place it, we have that little tail that helps us place it nicely so it doesn't stick immediately. So we'll get rid of these in just a second, okay? So I'm just going to frame this guy out. One strip in the very back, I'm just going to remove that, and then these guys, just kind of squish them in the direction that they're going to be pulled off at. And so when I come and bring this over, those little papers kind of push back at you, and they give you a moment to make sure that's where you want your paper to be, and then press and tear away these little pieces, and you are good to go. And the reason I say delicate, when you use metallic papers, it's not that you can't use wet glue, you totally can. But if you put too much, or, you know, not our beloved Nuvo Deluxe adhesive though, but if you have a glue that has a lot of water in it, it can make this paper start buckling. You'll definitely see where you put the glue is what I'm trying to say, so if you just kind of squiggle it on there, you will see that. Okay, so this one I'm just going to glue down. And again, we could have gutted that area. All I mean is take a craft knife and just cut that away, so you can still use that portion. But for now, I'm just leaving it there. And since this is very slick, I'm going to clean up that glue that came out. I know I was too close to the edge on that one. Usually I can either just let it dry and then rub it away, or right now while it's wet, just wipe it away with the paper towel, however you want to get rid of that. And I'm going to put some dimensional adhesives on the back of this, just strategically here and there, okay? I'll be back. Just put several pieces of dimensional adhesive back there, just, you know, on the different rays. Just in different spots, more strategic. And I'm just going to pop that on there. I'm just kind of eyeballing what's going on over here before I really put it down. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to turn it over and just give it a squish, kind of like I do with a shaker card. If you want to make this to a shaker, you definitely could. Usually, you know, have some thinner foam that would line in this area, or don't use that outer shape and just cut your own piece so you have a nice, you know, 1/4 inch or so edge, and that would make it easier, and you would have that. So we have this card base, and I'm thinking about putting my sentiment in here, stamping it. So let me get the stamps and things and see which one fits best and for what I'm doing here, and I'll be right back. I think what I'm going to do is maybe this May All Your Days Be Sunny. It's very nice. It'll fit in there nicely. And then maybe stamp a few of the little flowers and then color those, so we have some stamping, some coloring going in this one too. And so what I'm going to do is just set up this piece of marker paper, and I will be right back. Sorry if that changed the lighting at all, but basically we want that to fit in here. So I'll keep that there just kind of as a guide, but I am going to cut off some of the little flowers, is what I'm thinking about stamping. Again, nice photopolymer. Again, photopolymer stamps do have a little kind of a sticky dispersion layer. I know I'm going to cut this down here, that's why I don't need to worry about the top there. So if you want to get rid of that first, you know, you can rub it with a little alcohol, wipe that off, wash it off, or just rub on your stamp pad. You know, stamp it somewhere else first. Like right now, if I was to do this and then stamp it off on a piece of scratch paper, you know, I can do that. That also helps take some of that stickiness off. As you can see, it's stamped really nicely anyway at the beginning. That's really more for if it's like a really solid image, where this is kind of like thin lines, it's not as big a deal. Very nice. Yeah, and usually with photopolymer you can press a little harder because they're very firm. Where with like acrylic stamps they are softer, but these are photopolymer. And so if you really press, you get some ghosting sometimes, so you just want to be careful with that. I think what I'm going to do is put these little... Sorry, that noise. And so if I had this, knowing I'm going to cut it out about here, you know, I'll put one kind of in the center, and then maybe a couple off to the side. So again, these also have that little dispersion layer, but I'm just going to go right for it. I'm going to kind of give it a scrub with the add here. That looks good, and a single flower looks really cute too. I just figure maybe a couple there and one there or something. Put one like in here. And then I'll do the same thing with the other one, just position it where I like, pick it up, stamp it, and then I'll be back and we'll cut it out. Okay, so I grabbed some colors, just, you know, make them sunflowers basically. So I have what makes like an orange kind of colorway. It's butternut squash, honeycomb, and spiced orange from the Nouveau markers. So generally I always start with like the lightest color, and I'm just going to put color in. I'm not going to be too picky. Some of this is going to be cut off anyhow. So again, just here and there. And then I go in with the darkest one at the very base. Just add some color in those back ones. And then I go in with the medium colored one. Just add a little more. And then I go back in, especially because they're small, I'm not going to take too much time to really do a lot of color blending. And I'll treat them all just that way. A little bit of the stem's going to show, so I'll color those in just with some green. And in the very center I'm going to do a little brown, so starting off with little light brown, mixing into the little bit darker there. And that's it. Okay, so I will be right back. Okay guys, so I think I like my dye just about there. And you can cut yourself an aperture if you really want to make sure where you're putting it, but I think this is fine. Kind of more this way. Just looking at the wording there. It is a little bit different spacing down at the bottom, but that'll be good. Okay, I'll just run that through and I'll be right back. I'll just pop this little guy out. Put little sunflowers there. And again, you can also even put dimensionals twice as much as what you have back here, so it would pop out like this, or you can recess it, which is what I was planning on doing today. So maybe some inking, but since I didn't ink anything else, I really just want this to be nice and clean, and I probably shouldn't have popped that in there quite yet. Alright, there we go. We were still able to get her. Putting quite a bit of glue because I do want it to not dry super fast. I want to be able to turn it a little bit if I have to. You know, so our wording, our lettering is nice and straight. And that's just popped in there. And there it is. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks so much Tonic for sponsoring this video, for sending these items for review. I'll have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box, guys. Just so many ways to use this. I mean, with all that scenery and everything, and there's just all the different dyes. I mean, there's to build up like landscapes. I mean, there's just so much to do with it. So this is just one idea, and hope you enjoyed it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.